Hello everybody, my name is Rolak, and welcome to another installment of Let's Talk. For those unaware, this is a video detailing the 4 core aspects of a video game that I've recently played through on my channel. Those 4 being story, gameplay, visuals, and controls. Without any further delay, let's get into talking about my most recent Let's Play, Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark is a first-person shooter developed by Rareware for the Nintendo 64 all the way back in 2000. The game revolves around you playing as Carrington Institute operative and espionage expert Joanna Dark, as you control her through various levels, completing objectives, shooting through enemies, and collecting several weapons along the way to do so. Sounds simple, but the aspects that make up this game make it all the more better of an experience. Overall, the story is simple and fairly basic. What starts out as simple corporate espionage develops into conspiracy theories, assassination ploys, and eventually aliens. And for what it's giving, it works. Perfect Dark's story is a little unexplained at times, and if you're not reading the descriptions for all the different objectives and overall comments on the mission, it doesn't really go into full detail about really anything, but that's okay. Because even if you don't understand what exactly is going on, it can be easily understood just by playing through the game, and that's supported even better by wonderful characters and voice acting that still holds up to this day. Joanna herself is sassy yet headstrong and determined to get a mission done, a wonderful addition to early female protagonists in gaming. Elvis is a goofy yet enjoyable alien sidekick that never quite gets old. The villains such as Cassandra DeVry and Trent Easton are excellent yet somewhat basic evil characters that have their own goals and ambitions that are shown exceedingly well in the game's story. Ending it all together, Perfect Dark has a wonderful and engaging story that will certainly keep the players hooked and going back for more. Being on the N64, the visuals and graphics were to be as expected. Everyone looks fairly blocky, and the textures can be a bit blurry or muddy. But that's not to say it doesn't look great. No, the looks of the game hold up even to this day. Whether you're still playing it on the N64 or playing on emulator with upscale texture and resolutions like I did, the game still looks fantastic. Every single gun has their own design that makes them all stand out from each other, giving them their own unique look and feel. The environments give off the futuristic yet still grounded feel of a technologically advanced age. Despite it technically taking place last year, we don't worry about that, it's fine. And if the old school style of the N64 isn't your jam, you can play the game on Xbox with updated graphics and textures, giving it a more modern look, and despite that version being nearly 14 years old now, it still looks fantastic. Perfect Dark was released just 2 years before the N64's lifespan ended, and its visuals of the age still hold up to this day, as do a large variety of the N64 games of the time. The game plays out as expected for a typical first-person shooter. You get a gun and you shoot people. That's it. Nah, just kidding. In all honesty, as far as I'm aware, Perfect Dark was one of the earliest innovators of alternate fighter, or modes for guns in shooter games, because every single weapon has an alternate form of use aside from just shooting. These can vary from simply using the gun as a whip, to having it lock onto your targets, turning the gun to a proximity mine, an undermounted grenade launcher, detecting threats such as turrets and mines, changing the rate of fire to either a burst, slow but high impact shells, or just completely discharging the mag, cloaking, deploy as a sentry, exploding shells, fly-by-wire rockets, a literal grinder, pinball proximity grenades, and even X-ray scopes that can log onto enemies through walls. Every single gun is unique in this game, and that makes it all the more better to go back and replay the game over and over, because there are so many different ways to play the game thanks to these incredible guns. The gadgets can be pretty neat too, despite some being basic. The spy gadgets are probably the most interesting, controlling a little drone to either snap pics, drug people, or just to blow up. Perfect Dark excels in ways that most current shooters don't really do, by making the guns you use fun and interesting to use every single time you pick up a new one. If there's one thing holding Perfect Dark back from being a flawless game, it would be the controls, or rather just how the game feels to control anyway. Bear in mind, I was playing it on an emulator that has way better controls, so I'll mostly be talking about the N64 controls. This was a shooter game made before twin-stick shooting was really a thing, so aiming in this game can be tricky at times. Unlike some games like Turok or Quake 2 where the C buttons move your character and control stick aims, Perfect Dark has you move in a tank-like way, similar to Resident Evil. Forward and back on the stick moves you in those directions, but left and right simply turn you in that direction, whereas strafing is done by left and right seat buttons on the controller, while the up and down seat buttons aim your gun up and down respectively. And this isn't me being overly nitpicky, no, I played the hell out of this game on N64 and practically mastered it. But if I were to go back to those controls today, I'd probably still be pretty good at it. But the one thing that truly holds this game back would be precise aiming. And if I'm being perfectly honest, that's my only major gripe with the game. Unlike most shooters nowadays, aiming down sights, or whatever you call it in your game, usually increases the accuracy of your shots, making it easier to hit enemies. However, Perfect Dark, and by proxy GoldenEye 007, has the issue where aiming locks your character in place and allows precise aiming done with a control stick. And if you've ever used the N64 controller, you know exactly the problem. While yes, it does certainly improve your accuracy, aiming precisely with a janky stick isn't going to be 100% accurate most of the time. Even with the Xbox updated version, this problem still persists. Thankfully, you can do a quick little sidestep / peek by pressing left or right, so you can use cover as a good advantage at certain points. In almost every situation, simply hip firing would be more accurate than precise aiming, depending on the gun, really. And that's really the only major downside to the controls. If you get a hang of them, this game can be no problem to control whatsoever. Perfect Dark is regarded as one of the best games of the N64, a worthy successor to the critically acclaimed GoldenEye 007. And it's true. I will continue to say that Perfect Dark is one of the best first-person shooters you can ever play. If you can get behind the mildly outdated controls of the game, you will find yourself with a fantastic game with unique guns that have their own unique elements, a wonderful cast of characters, and multiplayer that can give you endless fun with your friends. Pop on some cheat codes as well, and you can have an endless amount of fun in both single and multiplayer. Feeling like it's not difficult enough? You can make enemies deal up to 1,000% more damage, or take that amount of damage in Perfect Dark mode. Or just spend some time in the firing range practicing your weapon prowess. Perfect Dark is truly one of the best games ever made. It made my childhood so much fun, and I'll be forever thankful to my dad for introducing me to this game and so many others. Definitely give it a go if you want. Good luck trying to find an original copy. If you want to make it easier, it's available on Rare Replay on Xbox, as well as it just being a part of the Game Pass. Or give the 1964 emulator a shot. Play the classic game with modern mouse and keyboard controls with a file that comes preloaded with everything already unlocked. That's all I got to say about this game. It's been a wonderful time replaying it again, and a joy to go over it in great detail in the Let's Play. I do intend to show up some of the multiplayer aspects of the game, but that likely won't come for quite some time. But I promise to get to it one day. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to bring more content for this year with hopefully some new projects that I've been thinking of. But time will tell if we actually get to that point. I'm really trying to get there. It's just a lot of time. Time is a main issue. The work's getting in the way, but I'm trying to really get back into the flow of things and hopefully pump out some more videos. Not just Let's Plays, of course. I'm also planning on doing some shenanigans with friends eventually. And I do have a project in mind that I need to go over with somebody about. But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to be pumping out a lot of content this year. I'm going to try to, at least. But thank you all. My name has been Rolak, and until next time, you all have yourselves a good day.